go. Hello. Hey there, how's it going? Gabriel here. So those clips that you saw there were just from the last couple of weeks. I just arrived here in Goa a couple of weeks ago from Paris. I'm in the middle of a extended journey. I've been traveling 3 months so far, and so that's just a little taste of India. I am currently in Palolem, and we'll be heading from here next to the state of Karnataka, and then I'm not sure where after that. Just kind of cruising India for maybe a couple of months. I don't have a return flight anywhere yet. This is my 7th time to India. I've spent about 20 months of my life in total traveling all over India. And so in this video, then I thought that I would talk about how to get ready for traveling to India before you actually arrive here, the preparation, the steps that you have to take in order to arrive here prepared mentally in terms of gear, etc. I have a few things here that I will be showing later in the video as far as things to bring. The very first thing, though, that you will need to go to India is pretty obvious. It is a passport. You probably already know that, but one thing you might not know is that you need 6 months validity left on your passport in order to enter many countries around the world. So you might have a passport that's expiring in 3 or 4 months or whatever, and so you think, okay, I got a few months left, no problem, I'll go to Thailand and then India and get back, a couple weeks beforehand. Don't do that because you will be denied entry in many countries. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure that India would be one of them. Number 2 is that you need a visa for India. And this is something that not everybody knows. In fact, I met somebody recently who did not know that. I was in Morocco and ended up sharing a taxi with this guy who had been in Thailand, had booked a flight to India from there, and arrived at the airport, went to check in, and they said, "Can we see your passport with your visa?" And he said, "Visa?" He didn't have a visa for India. You need an advanced visa for India. There are 3 different options that I will explain in this video. India is actually the only country I've been to in all of my travels. I've been to 35 countries so far in which I needed an advanced visa to enter the country. Most places around the world, it depends, of course, on which passport you are traveling on, which country you are from, but many countries around the world, then you can just show up at the border, or you get what's called a visa on arrival, which means you pay a fee, and then you can enter right away. But for India, you will need to do some advanced preparation. As I said, there are 3 options that I'm aware of for tourist visas into India. One of them is only available to Americans, but a lot of my viewers are from the United States, so that is a good one to know about if you are from the US. So option number 1 is to get a what is called e-visa, which is a new thing that India is offering, in which you go online, you then apply for the e-visa, and you do that completely online. You don't have to mail your passport off to an embassy, and then assuming that you get approved, you then print a page out, and you can arrive at the border and show them that page, and then they will let you in for 30 days. And so that is the easiest option, but 30 days in India really is not enough. It is just like dipping your toe in the water. If that's all that you wanted to or planned to spend in India anyways, then great. So if you want to apply for the e-visa, check the link down below this video for where you can apply for that. But if you want to stay longer in India, then you will need to apply for a regular visa, which entails mailing your passport off to the Indian embassy wherever you live. If you live in the US, whether it's in New York or San Francisco or wherever, then you will have to fill out the proper paperwork, include a payment for the visa. It is a really annoying process that involves a lot of paperwork. I'm not going to explain in detail how that works, but you'll have to search online and find where to mail off your passport to with all of the required paperwork and everything. And that should allow you to stay in India for 6 months at the maximum. Now the third option is if you are an American then there's the option for a 10-year visa, and so that is what I have in my passport since I'm from the US. I got it just a few months ago before I started this trip. It's some sort of a reciprocal arrangement between the US and India, and it is actually the exact same process as applying for the 6-month visa. You pay a slightly greater fee, like twice as much or something, and then fill out the same paperwork, provide the same information as far as your residence and why you're going to India and all of your personal information and all that kind of stuff. And then you can get a visa that is valid for 10 years, maybe 5 years. They will determine themselves which one they give to you. And then that is a multiple entry visa. That does not mean that you can stay in India for 10 years straight without leaving the country. You can stay for 6 months at a time, and then you must leave, and then I think that you can just leave and come back the next day, or maybe that same day. But it is a multiple entry visa without limits as far as I know. Certainly, more entries than you would, reasonably need. And so with that, once you have that 10-year visa, you're good to go. You just show up at the airport and fly to India. They let you in, and you can stay for 6 months and then go to Nepal and then come right back or whatever. So that is very convenient. Now, the second issue that I'm going to address here is vaccinations, whether to get immunizations for various potential diseases before coming to India. And my answer on that is it's up to you. There is no straightforward answer as to whether you should get immunized for various things and which ones exactly. I did get immunizations prior to my very first trip to India back in 1999, so that's been a while. And some of those were valid for life, I believe. Some were valid for 10 years. Some were valid for less, I think. I forget exactly which ones I got. But it's probably a good idea for me to go back and get them again, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I will put a link down below the video here for a page that lists some of the things that you might want to get vaccinated for, and then it's just up to you to decide for yourself whether that is important to you or not. It's unlikely you're going to get any of these strange, diseases or whatever, especially in the more touristy areas, but better safe than sorry if you want to go that route. As far as malaria, then the only time that I've taken malaria tablets here in India or ever was when I went to the Andaman Islands, which are part of India, and I'd read that there was a higher potential for malaria there, and so I took malaria tablets for the 2 weeks that I was in the Andaman Islands. But otherwise, you will just have to decide for yourself. Feel free to ask your doctor or other people that might have some insight on that. Search around online, decide what makes sense for you as far as being safe and secure for your trip to India. And so next, then, I'm going to go over some things that you might want to consider bringing with you to India. Start off here with some water purification tablets. This isn't really an essential, but for obvious reasons, the water of India is not something that you want to drink if it is not treated in some way. Bottled water, also called mineral water here in India, is readily available at all sorts of stores and shops and your hotel and restaurants, etc. But just in case you might end up in a situation where you don't have bottled water available and you're going to need to drink some local water or some water that you're not sure where it came from or who knows what, then I got these in Nepal for trekking in the Himalayas last year. And so it's just a small little thing you throw in a bag somewhere, and you never know when it might come in handy. You can find them at your local, backpacking outdoor sort of a store. And then another thing to consider is that if you want to save some money and not create as much plastic waste, then it is something to consider to bring water purification tablets or a water purifying, device, and not use the bottled water and just purify water along the way. I haven't actually done that myself, but it is certainly something to keep in mind and consider. Next is this handy device, a travel universal adapter, and this allows you to plug your devices into the sockets of India. Here is the plug that is appropriate for India. It says Europe on it, but it is the same. And this will allow you to plug your devices from anywhere in the world. So from the US, you can see right there. But any plug from anywhere in the world will plug into this, and then at this end, then you can plug it into any plug anywhere in the world. So then you are set. No matter where you go, you will be prepared for being able to plug in and charge up your cell phone, computer, shaver, etc. A padlock is an absolute essential for India. I'm staying here in this little beach hut, just a 30-second walk from the ocean. There are other videos on my channel from beautiful Palolem Beach here, but it requires a padlock to lock the hut, and the owners here provided me with a padlock. However, I would much rather use my own and know that I am the only person that has the key. Also, there are places that you will stay in India, many places, especially the more budget accommodation, in which they will not provide a padlock, and yet you will need a padlock to latch and lock the door. Toilet paper, which you can easily find all over India, because you will not find toilet paper in a lot of the bathrooms, whether in your hotel or in public places. And so this is a bicycle cable lock, which can be used for various things, as you can imagine. If you're staying at a hostel, then you can use the lock to lock your backpack to the bunk bed, so that it is a little bit more difficult for somebody to grab your backpack and run with it. But especially in India, you will need a lock of some sort. Say that you are taking an extended train ride and you are taking the second class sleeper option, then you will need a way to lock your luggage below the bottom bunk. And I will mention here a important tip. When you take the long train journeys, then definitely get the upper bunk of the 3 bunks that are available, because the second bunk, the middle one, folds down during the day and makes the seat back for the bottom bunk. So people will sit on the bottom bunk during the day, and the second one will be the seat back. And so those ones will be useless. You can't hang out on them on your own, whereas meanwhile the top upper bunk will be still a sleeper bunk, and so you can hang out up there, you can read a book, relax, stretch out, take a nap, etc., while all of the busyness of India is going on beneath you. But whichever bunk you stay on, then you will need a way to secure your luggage below. There are some clips under the bottom bunk, and so you can put your bag under there and then use a lock of this sort to lock it so that you can sleep securely at night, or leave your luggage there during the day when you go to the bathroom, etc. Earplugs are an obvious one. It is noisy in India. This will help you sleep in a lot of situations. A sleeping mask or eye shade for sleeping and making it darker. Say you're sleeping on that train and there is a light overhead, or you're somewhere that there is a light coming in through the window, or you just want to sleep past sunset. And then a headlamp or a flashlight of some sort. India does not have generous amounts of street lamps. Or say you're staying here on the beach and you stay at a restaurant late. You can imagine various situations that might come up in which you are trying to walk back to your room or your hut or whatever. It is dark, there are dogs barking in the background, and a light of some sort will help you get back to your place a lot easier. Your own cup, you can use your imagination on that, but it might come in handy if you want to have your own tea or other beverage, or you can use it to make cereal in the morning, etc. And then for India in particular, then I especially recommend bringing both a towel and a sarong. So here I have a normal towel, obvious usage. Use it to dry yourself off after the shower. But personally, then I don't want to take my towel down to the beach and lay it down on the sand and it gets sandy and dirty or whatever, and then bring it back here and use it to dry off after I take a shower. And so that is what the sarong is for when I head out during the day. Then you stuff it in your backpack, and then you can use it to lay it down on the beach to lay on. You can use it to dry yourself off after you come out of the water. You can use it to put it over your shoulders during the day if you happen to be in a tank top or shirtless, to keep the sun off your shoulders. You can tie it around your waist and walk around like that. It definitely has multiple uses, so I recommend both a towel and a sarong. And then a rain jacket. Now here in India during the winter, it is winter now in early February. India is in the northern hemisphere. However, South India is hot year-round, and winter is the dry season. I have been here for 2 weeks so far, and I have not seen a cloud, basically, that I can recall. Certainly not a drop of rain, and so it is unlikely that it is going to rain during the dry season. However, it is always possible, and so you want to be prepared. And then who knows, you might be here during the rainy season or during a random rainstorm or whatever. but also it doubles as a article of warm clothing in case you happen to go up into some mountains or are in India in the north in the winter, in which case it can get cold. And then sandals are an absolute essential in India, especially if you are in the south at any time of year or in the north when it is hot or warm, then you're going to want to wear sandals. I have a pair of shoes, but I probably won't wear them at all while I'm in India. It is hot, and so I will be just wearing sandals. However, I have two pairs, and so here is the other pair. These I got in Morocco a couple of months ago for about 25 bucks. I love this style with the one toe thing there. You can get the exact same thing basically in India for much cheaper. And then I also have these, which are a much sturdier pair that I bought at Walmart in Hawaii a year and a half ago for just $10. And they're awesome. Not a Walmart endorsement here, but these have been a great deal, and as you can see, they're hanging in there awesome. They are super sturdy, and so if I am traveling en route, for example, going from one place to the next and carrying my big backpack on my back, then I will wear these sandals, or if I'm going on a hike, on dirt paths or whatever. But then for more casual use, for just walking around, near my hut or wherever, then I will use these slip-on kind of sandals. And then the final thing as far as gear goes is what I am sitting on, which is this blanket here. I bought this in India 3 years ago up in Manali, up in the mountains in the Himalayas there. Here is the blanket. I forget how much I paid for it, $5 or $6 or something. And there are many places that you will stay in India in which they won't provide blankets. Here they didn't provide a blanket or a sheet or anything. Probably they have one if I requested it, but this works great, and I would rather just use my own blanket that I am familiar with. But in various situations you need an extra layer, or the blankets there are very questionable, and so you can put the other blankets over this one. A blanket is definitely an essential for India. And so the last thing that I will mention as far as getting ready for India is the mental preparation, and that is an important one. India is a land like no other. I've been to 35 countries so far. I've been to, Nepal, Thailand, Morocco, Egypt, other countries that you might consider third world, or maybe you call them second world. But anyways, India is a whole different level as far as the intensity of things that you are going to experience. The poverty, the pollution, the garbage. What you saw there, those little clips of Goa here, is nothing compared to the real India. Goa is really a much easier, watered down, you could say, version of India. And so once you get out there into the bigger cities of India, the places that might not be as touristy, then things get a lot more interesting, you could say. Weird, strange, challenging, difficult. Beggars on the streets, people wanting to talk to you, people staring at you, people trying to get you into their shops, people maybe trying to scam you, etc. It is an amazing country. The people are incredibly friendly and open. You will have interactions with people in India that you don't have anywhere else in the world. You can much more easily connect with the culture, and so India has so much to offer, so many amazing places to see. But it is also intense, and you will see things that blow your mind and pull at your heartstrings. Beggars coming up to you that you feel compelled to help, and then there will be another one, and then another one, and you realize that you can't help everybody. You can't go into every shop that a shopkeeper wants you to visit, etc. You have to get used to the concept of ignoring people, being rude as it may appear to people, brushing off beggars, etc. Just because if you're going to get from point A to point B, you're trying to get to the train station to catch your train, and then people are pulling you this direction and that direction. You just have to do what you got to do and go for it, because lots of people are going to be trying to get your attention, get your money one way or another, and so you have to have strong boundaries, as they say, and get used to just a different way that things work. And so it's definitely a good idea to watch some videos of India. I have tons of videos here on this channel. I will put a link down below as well to a link that will go to various videos of mine from India, and so you can just take your pick of those different videos and just get a feel for what things are like beyond the beaches and the super touristy spots, as far as how crowded it is, how noisy it is, the animals that are, surprisingly, on the street, cows walking around, pigs rooting through garbage, monkeys swinging from the trees, etc. And so it is important just to prepare yourself mentally, psychologically for what is going to be a more intense, more hardcore traveling experience as opposed to many other places in the world. It is worth it, but it is good to be in the right mental mindset. As soon as you step out of the airport, then you are in a very different land and things work differently. It will simply take some time to get used to it. If it is your first time to India, like a couple of weeks or so to get used to how things work and just kind of gauging situations and people, etc. But you will figure it out, and you will have an amazing time. But just keep in mind that India is a very different place from anywhere else in the world. It is amazing, intense, powerful. It will definitely change your perspective on life, change how you perceive your own, life back home in the West, if that's where you come from. It is a great place to travel with sights and experiences like no other. That is why I've been here 7 times. But it also definitely comes with its challenges. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope this video helped you prepare and get ready for an upcoming trip to India. Have an amazing time. Take it easy.